That's correct. No one can say that you knew that the car was stolen, and no one will testify that they saw you steal the car. No, that does not mean boom, dismissal. Well, there are two types of evidence, direct and circumstantial, and the jury will be instructed that one is no better than the other. Well, it's like this. So let's say I got a kid. What's his name? It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go to the grocery store and I tell my kid, okay, fine. I tell Trevor that I'm going to the store. I don't know, bread, eggs, milk, it doesn't matter. Example 2, I go to the grocery store, and when I get back, Trevor's not in the kitchen, but the cookie jar is empty. And so I go to his room, he's sitting on his bed, no cookie in his hand, no cookie in his mouth, but he's got crumbs on his shirt and his breath smells like chocolate chips. Well, the ignition on the vehicle you were driving had been punched, and the car started using a screwdriver. You ran several stop signs while the cops pursued you. Well, now, yes, you did. Well, it's all on dash cam and body cam. Oh yeah, whole thing's on video, it's a hoot. And when you crashed into that retaining pond and tried to get away by swimming across, no, let me finish. And once you were in custody, you allegedly said, I am so fucked. Well, what I'm trying to say is your breath smells like chocolate chips. Right. Listen, I gotta talk to someone dumber than you, if you can believe it. Parker?
No, Merle.
I suppose that I should have given it away. Go talk to Winston.
Good morning, Tucker. Have a seat. Merle tells me you've been assigned as co-counsel on the Balzac case. Well, he told me to come talk to you and see if there's anything I could do to help out. Well, Tucker, you're not an intern. You've got your bar card. You'll be second chair, which means that in the event of my untimely death, you'll be the one trying this case. So I thought it would be a good idea to go over basic trial preparation. I asked Pearl to create a mirror file for you. It's got all the filings, police reports, and other discovery. Yeah, Pearl gave it to me about 5 minutes ago. Please tell me trial doesn't start this morning. No, Tucker. While this case is very likely to go to trial, it won't be anytime soon. I thought we could start with jury selection. Case like this probably start with a veneer of 45 or so potential jurors from which to get 12, plus an alternate or two. The judge will give some initial instructions, ask a few general questions, and the prosecutor will ask the panel questions. And then it's the defense's turn. How much time you're given, how many rounds of questioning, depends on the judge. I remember when I was in law school, I came up to watch the old man do jury selection. He just stood up, walked back and forth in front of the panel, looking at their faces. Then he walks back to counsel table, sits down and says to the judge, Your Honor, defense is confident that the panel as seated will render a just verdict. Well, let's not try that right out of the gate. Voir dire is a unique opportunity to talk to a room of 50 or so people you've never met. And you get to ask them questions, engage in a face-to-face dialogue. Done well, it's a good way to get a feel for the pulse of a community. I think it's important to get them talking. Best way to get a feel for who may make a good juror or a bad one. Also gives you an opportunity to size up opposing counsel. Did you watch the whole voir dire with your dad that you were talking about? No, I had to head back to class. Well, what you missed was this. In your old man's estimation, that particular trial turned on a matter of law, which is the purview of the judge, as opposed to a question of fact, which is the purview of the jury. The The prosecutor asked another round of questions, and when they were done, your old man asked to excuse the jury, and he told the judge that his client wanted a bench trial. Was he just messing with the prosecutor? Well, that was part of it, but your dad hadn't been to trial with this particular prosecutor before, saw jury selection as an opportunity to check the cut of their jib without showing his own style. What if the judge had said, no, we're going with a jury? Jury hadn't been sworn, jeopardy hadn't attached. It's a defendant's right to choose judge or jury. No, I get that, but, what if a judge just makes the wrong call? I mean, I know the defendant can appeal afterwards, but that takes time, with the client waiting in prison for a new trial. Well, there's any number of ways to respond when a judge makes what is, in your estimation, a bad ruling. Objecting, of course, is a must to establish the record for appeal. You don't need to file a motion, just make your objection on the record and do the best you can given the circumstances. There's got to be something else you can do to speed up the appeal process. Well, I've never done it, but there have been attorneys that have intentionally tanked it. You're talking about causing a mistrial? I am. Go ask Merle about Misty.
Misty Rhodes. Haven't thought of her in quite some time. So, Miss...
You were making that name up.
Tucker, this office has had, in the last 6 months alone, a London, a Sage, a Harmony, and a Satchel. And if I may say, your tendency to interrupt my mentorship is not one of your better qualities. So Misty's in a trial, and during closing arguments, the prosecutor goes rogue. Comments on the defendant's invocation of his right to remain silent, burden shifting, why didn't he call any witnesses, textbook misconduct stuff. Misty objects, keeps objecting, judge overrules, shuts her down. So Misty decides, well, if you're going to make a farce of the system, so will I. Aren't you going to ask me what she did? You ever heard of the aristocrats joke?
The ultimate comedian's joke? She told that joke?
Misty Rhodes told the aristocrats joke as her closing argument. She figured the judge would either have to give a mistrial, or the audacity of it would speed the case through the appeal process.
The aristocrats? No way!
Oh yes, Tucker, way.
I don't believe it.
I've got the transcript. Let's see. As the frozen monkey ejaculate is fed into the wood chipper, prosecutor, objection, I strenuously object. Judge, counsel, stop. Misty. The whole family enters stage left in winter outerwear, mittens, scarfs. Prosecutor, Your Honor. Misty. And they hold hands in a circle and spin with their tongues out to catch the snowflakes. Judge, that's enough. Misty, the agent says, what do you call your act? Judge, one more word, counsel, and I will find you in contempt. Misty, the aristocrats. The defense rests, Your Honor. Legend.